Yo, what's going on, guys? Listen, this price action is starting to shift. Let's get into the numbers. What's going on, YouTube? It's your man, Griff, and you know what it is. Listen, I'm driving this week, so hop in the passenger seat. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up like button, and let's roll. All right, listen, let's not waste any time, guys. Let's get right into it. Now, listen, the prices are coming down on these vehicles. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's the truth. And the reason why the prices are coming down is because of increased inventory, all right? When you look at supply and demand, if you don't have much supply, okay, with a pent-up demand, they can increase pricing, right? But when you have a lot of supply and equal demand, those prices start to come down a little bit. So what's happening here is inventory is starting to shift a little bit, okay? Now, when you have a lot of inventory at your disposal, you don't need a whole lot more, okay? So when people are coming in and trying to do these deals, the dealership is basically saying, listen, I got a lot of inventory, so I don't necessarily have to give you MSRP for that car anymore. I can offer you a little bit less because I'm going to have this thing sitting on my lot and I got carrying costs. Let's look at Ciocca as an example. All right, now the dealership has 34 cars for sale at the time that I looked, right? So that's this weekend, 34 cars for sale on their website. Now, it might not sound like a lot of cars to you guys, but listen, it is a lot of vehicles considering that. And most times when you went in there early on, there was no inventory at all. As soon as somebody came in to try to trade in a car, they were selling the car the same day that the car came in. So to see 34 cars in the inventory right now, it's actually a lot of C8 inventory, okay? So I'm just scrolling through so that you guys can see it. There's 34 cars available. Now, I'm not saying that the dealership doesn't want additional inventory, but what I am saying is that we're in the Northeast and we're starting to go into the winter, and these cars start to move a little bit slower in the wintertime here in the Northeast, okay? Now, even cars that ship out west, all right, they have winter out there too, which I'm gonna show you guys a couple things later in the video. But as you can see, again, I'm still scrolling through. There's a lot of vehicles there. Now, if you want to do a deal with these guys, you need to get down there and try to negotiate now before we get deeper into the winter and they even go more beyond MSRP, or should I say less MSRP, because right now, if I'm a dealership, guys, there's no way that I'm looking to hold all these vehicles on my lot over a winter. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, Griff, you know, there's a huge shortage. These cars aren't going to sit there long. The cars are starting to sit a little bit, guys. They're not moving as fast. So what's happening is dealerships are starting to cut back on those big deals, right? So they were offering MSRP or above before, but now what they're doing is they're starting to offer a little bit less to offset their margins. Listen, guys, if you made it this far, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up like button to promote the video so we can pass it on to more people. I appreciate it. Let's keep going. All right, guys, listen, so I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it looks like it's going to happen again. The GM plant is going to shut the lights off. And we're in total darkness, all right? So the information that's being published is that the 2023 Corvette production is going to be halted during the week of October 17th. So another slowdown. So again, it's a bad time for things to be slowing down, guys, because I'm going to continue to say it. We're entering into these winter months, and it just becomes more and more problematic with delivering these vehicles. Now, guys, listen, here's just a dose of reality. So this is the median first date of snowfall in the U.S., all right? Now, listen, before October 1st, there's not a whole lot going on. But between October 1st and the 31st, we're starting to venture into that cold territory, right? This is a time where a lot of guys start to put their cars away depending on where you live in the country. Around November 1st to the 15th, yeah, we're starting to kind of hinge on that edge of winter at this point, right? Now, by November 16th to November 30th, we're in Turkey Town. You know, it's Thanksgiving. Usually Thanksgiving, people are starting to look for colder weather, potential snow in certain areas. Once you get into December 1st to the 15th, you look at the map, you can see a lot more potential snowfall, all right? From December 15th to the 31st, we're like right in the area of winter at that point, all right? A lot of folks are looking for a white Christmas. Now, here's the deal. Once you get past December, guys, you got 3 more months, you know, that are not even shown on this mapping, You've got January, February, and potential March for snowfall. So all I'm saying is, once the winter time comes, production, I'm not going to say production slows down, but what I am going to say is folks are not interested in buying these cars depending on where you live in the country. Now, this next map gives you some average snowfall totals. Now, listen, I've seen in the comments, some of you guys are saying, Griff, I'm driving my car year round. I'm going to have to switch the tires out and get something that can grip the snow a little bit because you're going to be driving that car because it's your daily driver. I'll say it now. I wish you guys safety and good luck. It's a dangerous car in bad conditions. Certainly not made for inclement weather, but just a little something to consider. So I'm throwing you guys another map. All right, guys, listen, let's wind this thing down a little bit and summarize a few key factors. Increased pre-owned car volumes, all right? What that means is there's a lot more cars sitting on the lots right now, okay? So when you talk about simple supply and demand, when you don't have the supply and a heavy demand, things get a little bit crazy, right? But when you have a bunch of supply, it means that things aren't moving as fast, okay? So what happens when things don't move fast, guys want to put discounts on them. So I'm not saying that they're going to discount these cars, but I'm saying there's an opportunity for better deals. And what I am saying is that the dealerships are not going to be paying much of MSRP going into the winter months. I'm just telling you guys that's how it works. Production shutdowns throws off the summer. Listen, when they start to shut these factories down, guys, it means that they can't produce the vehicles. And a guy that was supposed to get his vehicle in August, September, now slows down, and maybe he's getting his car in October, November, okay? It pushes things out a little bit. That guy really doesn't want that car in October, November, because now if he's in a heavy winter state, he's not going to be able to drive it much, okay? And just to top things off, entering the winter months. That just kind of formalizes that point that I just made. So it really just throws off the entire system when things start to slow down. Now, it's good for us, the consumer, because when the prices come down and the dealer has a lot of inventory that they don't want sitting on that lot going through the winter, it gives you an opportunity to go out and get a better deal on one of these pre-owned vehicles. Now, you're going to have to put your negotiating tongue on because these guys are slicker than snake oil and they know how to talk that talk. So you're going to have to be able to go into that dealership, go toe-to-toe with one of these dealers and try to work yourself out a good deal if you're looking for a pre-owned opportunity with very low miles, because there's a lot of them out there right now, guys. All right, now listen, I'm going to hit you guys with some stats and we're going to get out of here, okay? Now listen, third quarter sales in the U.S. were down by 21.9% in comparison to the same time last year. When we look at Canada, sales were down in the third quarter 43.2% at this same particular time last year. And then when we move on to Mexico, sales were down 52.2% at the same time last year. Now listen, some of this stuff, guys, is justifiable. We know that there's been parts issues, but there were parts issues last year as well. So what I am saying is Chevy, with third quarter sales being down, is going to want to make up in the fourth quarter. And chances are they're not going to be able to do that, especially with plant closures and all kinds of other stuff going on. So what does that mean to the consumer? Potential price hikes, all right? So listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but don't be surprised if these guys start to inch up pricing a little bit more. It's your man, Griff. Catch you guys next week. Peace.